All right, so now I'm going to do Indiana. I'm trying to do my best to streamline these a little bit faster, a little bit better, a little bit more clarity. I've done Texas in two parts. I've done Georgia. I've been requested to do Indiana, so now I'm doing Indiana. Indiana is no longer in session. So the first thing I wanted to do was find a bill that I could research and find on my own. Um, and I am pleasantly surprised. Indiana's legislative site is so easy to use. It's definitely the easiest one so far. It's even easier than my state, and I'm kind of an expert in my state's like navigating through it. So, congratulations, Indiana. You have a fantastic website. The first thing I did, because I wanted to just find something to research, was I said, what is the most controversial bill from Indiana legislature in 2025? And this bill popped up, Senate Bill 287. School board candidates to declare a political party affiliation. Yeah, we have this problem in our state as well. So, okay, I want to see what happened. This bill is a law now, by the way, but I wanted to see what this bill went through. I wanted to understand the process, and I wanted to be able to find the exact videos that I needed to be able to clip and crop, okay? So the first thing I did was I went to this Indiana General Assembly. So here is the website. It is iga.in.gov. This thing is beautiful. Okay, I really love your guys' website. It's so easy to understand and access. So the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to see Bill 287. I needed to find that legislation. Because it's a bill. So I clicked on bills, and it populates and it takes me up to this. So I know that it is a Senate bill I'm looking for, 287. So now I'm in bills right here. I can scroll down. You guys have such few bills that my brain was like spinning. Like we had 800 bills in Idaho. So like but it's interesting because you can only see the bills that passed really is where all the content it'll give it to you. The other ones, the grayed out ones, are the ones that obviously failed and are not signed into law. But it's very interesting. The layout is just really nice and easy to click. It's very user friendly. So I'm going to scroll down. Boom, 287, school board matters. So they want to do the affiliation. So what I did was I right clicked and I opened it in the new tab. And it popped up over here, but I will show it to you. Okay, so here's Senate Bill 287. This is the one that I eventually want to record, right? I want to record what they were saying in committees. I want to record what they were saying on the floor about it, because maybe there is a legislator who was against this bill that I want to have fodder for in the future. How dare this Republican be against putting affiliations for school board, right? Like that would piss me off. I want their affiliation so that people understand what they're voting for. So here's the bill. You can go down. It discusses all of the information. It'll give you everything you need to know. Now here I'm looking at actions, which are important to me, but they're not the actions I want to find the recordings. So what you do is, instead of just looking at these dates and these recordings, because there's not going to be a recording of the sign into law or signed by the pro tem or speaker, right? So you need to go over to view all actions. So make sure you come down to your bill, you go to view all actions over here, you click it. Boom, this is exactly what I wanted. So now in chronological order, it's giving me all of the things that happened to this bill. So here it was authored, here it was first reading. So this is interesting because I've had this happen to me in a few states. Okay, so 113 on the Senate. So I come to find out House and Senate, right? It's labeled on the left side. You got Senate, it goes through Senate, and then boom, it goes through House. Okay, it got amended in the House, so it had to go back to Senate and get like another stamp of approval, everything, and then it starts getting signed by all the right people, right? So a bill process, if you don't know, will start in one committee in one of the chambers. In this case, it is starting in the Elections Committee on the Senate side. So this bill was introduced on the Elections Committee on the Senate side. From that, a bill will go to the Senate floor, where you see right here, 217, it says third reading and it passed. So when you see the passing thing, that's when you know when they voted on it. That's when they debated it on the floor in the Senate. From that point, that bill will transfer over to the other chamber. In this case, it is the House side, Elections and Apportionment Committee. And then it goes through that committee reports, amend, do, pass, adopted. Okay, so it passes out of there. It went to the House floor, and they referred it to the Education Committee. It got read, so it had to pass 2 committees in the House. That's pretty crazy, actually. And then it went to the floor, and it had all these amendments done to it. So they're I kind of clicked through some of the amendments. They were like adding a line, deleting language, whatever. Third reading. So this is like the final call was right here on 331, the third reading. It went to the House floor and it passed. Now what you're looking for is all of the dates, because you know they're going to debate it on the roll call dates. So you always look at the dates for the roll call when it comes to the floor, whether it's Senate or House, right in here. But you know what else is important, and I find a lot of really good content, is digging into these committees, because people don't think anyone's watching committees, and for the most part, they are not watching committees, which is why Idaho has been so successful. This is why I'm building this program, because what we have pulled in committees has affected elections. We have clips from people saying really dumb stuff, and it has been fruit on the vine for the future. Like, we have been able to get people out of their seats because of things they've said in committees. So don't skip any of it. I mean, if you have a bill and you want to know what went down with this bill, right? These are what you're going to be looking at. Okay. Now, again, during session, we're live fire. It'll be totally different. We'll have to talk this over, but this is before your session. I don't believe your session starts again until probably middle of January, right? Like early January, middle of January. So this is going to give you time to go through Indiana and like perfect this skill, right? Of clipping and learning where you need to find the bills you're looking for. Okay, so again, I decided I wanted to do 287. I found the bill. I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the bill. So I found the bill. I went down to bill actions. I want to view all actions because this is what's important to me to find clips. And I start at the bottom. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to see was this. I wanted to see the first reading referred to Committee on Elections. Now, you can click on the elections, but it really just populates the committee up for you. And it doesn't really, I think that there was a way to access, hold on, let me look at it real quick. There was a way to access videos. But again, okay, so the date I'm looking for is January 13th, okay? So here's the committee, and so you could just click that, January 13th. Look at this right here, boom, watch video, okay? If there's 2 ways to go about it. So you can do it that way. It's super easy and way easy, like easy to access, right? But it was interesting because this has happened to me in a couple of other tutorials as well. But I went to the video, and I'll show it to you, and I clicked through the video, and I didn't see 287. And look if you drop it down here, like if you do the view scheduled legislation, so again, I'm over here, it is January 13th on the Senate side. I am looking at the first, I want to see the first reading referred to this on elections. It did not show up. So I went to So I clicked on elections, right? I went to January 13th right here, and I hit play. But again, when you do the drop down to see the legislation that they discussed during that committee that day, it's not even on here, which coincides with the video because I watched the video and it is not on there. Okay, so now it says video. I'm at elections. I want to search for a meeting. I want to see January 13th. Here is the January 13th video. Now, here's something kind of cool about your guys's, I love this about Indiana. You guys just nailed it. I don't know who does this, your Secretary of State, but they nailed this whole process. So as you click through, it is so easy to see what bill they're on right up here. SJ20. They're on bill, it's Senate Joint, it's going to be a Senate Joint Memorial or Committee 21. Okay, so they're still on 21. I don't care about 21. I'm looking for 287, right? Click, click, click. Okay, I went through all of it. Now they're at Senate Bill 221, right? So I saw it change up in the left corner. Fantastic. Still not 287. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, now they're on Senate Joint Memorial, or one of the joint bills they're doing, 17. And I kind of listened through. Some of these were about Article Convention 5, and some of these were about state comptroller, election board stuff. It was interesting. Okay, now they're on Senate Bill 199. You can always just look in the left corner. I clicked through all of it. 199, 199, 199 still. And there was no 287, which is baloney, because that was on, where did it go? 287. Because that was on the calendar. Like, where is it, right? 113, it says it was first reading and referred to committees on elections. Okay, so that ticked me off. Couldn't find it there. Fine. I'm going to go watch it on the floor instead. So here we go. Let's see. It passed on the Senate floor with an amendment. Looks like they amended it once. So it got passed on the Senate floor on 2/13. So February 13th, I see the roll call. The amendment failed. So that was the amendment. Sorry, ignore me. So the 17th, it's the third reading, and it passed. So they tried to do an amendment right here on the floor in the Senate, and it failed. See, yays 11, nays 34. So then they just took it back on the 17th. So on the 17th, it's the third reading pass. Roll call this. Okay, I actually didn't click this before, so I'm going to click it now because I want to see what it does. Okay, so it shows you who said yes to this and who said no. So again, if this is a great bill and you've got any Republicans, that sucks that it doesn't show their affiliation. But if you know your state legislature well, you should kind of know which one of these are Democrats and which ones are Republicans. If you have any Republicans in there, you could put the heat on them. Like, you didn't vote for 287. What the heck is that, right? Okay, so, but back to the story is I want to see this, okay? And I clicked it, and it didn't give me the video option, which is totally fine, right? So on 2/17/2025, on the Senate floor, because you're on the S right here, I can go back to my original assembly, okay? So now I'm back at the main page, the iga.in.gov. All right, so now I'm going to go session, right here, session, video. And so when session is going on actively, you'll use live streams, but there is no session active, so you would go to recordings. Okay, so now I know it is Senate standing that I am looking for. So everyone has languages a little bit different. So your guys' Senate floor and House floor is called Senate standing, House standing. And then your committees are called conference. So it says, I think that's how that works, right? But there's a list, there's a drop down. You can literally click anything. But either way, I want to see Senate. So I could drop it down and click Senate, or I could click Senate session or Senate standing. Okay, so either way, it doesn't matter. It just, so Senate standing shows all the, maybe I'm wrong. Senate standing shows the committees. Okay, I don't want those. I want session. Okay, so back to my bill. Okay, this was the other page. This is the extended page. Back to my bill. I am looking for the third reading on 2/17 right here. Okay, third reading, roll call, yes, yays, or nays, because this is where they're going to debate it on the floor. So, sorry, go back. I have okay, 2/17. So now I'm going to look for February 17th. I am right here. I see that there are two parts to February 17th. So I'm going to open, I don't know why it died on me. So I'll just open part one. Again, very, very easy. So at the beginning of these sessions, like the day just started, they'll go through roll call. You won't really see anything in the top corner because they're doing like presentations and they're welcoming people in the gallery and blah, blah, blah. So you can kind of just skip through the beginning of it. Okay, so boom. Now I got him moving. Okay, he's doing Senate Bill 2 right now on the floor. I don't want 2. I want 287. So here's them voting on Senate Bill 2. That's what it looks like. Or maybe they were just doing an amendment because it looks like they're still doing Senate Bill 2. All right, so Senate Bill 324. That's not what I want, so I'm going to keep clicking. 324. Okay, here's Senate Bill 419. Not what I want. Click through. This stuff is pretty interesting to listen to. I've listened to a little bit of yours in Indiana's. Every state I do, I listen to a little bit of their stuff. It's interesting. 473. Not what I want. 516. Not what I want. Okay, and it looks like it ends, so that it splits. So that's not, it wasn't in part 1. But I do remember that same date, February 17th, there was a part 2. Okay, so February 17th, part 2. Let's click that one right here. Okay, so now I'm in February 17th, part 2. I actually jotted down the time where I saw it. So Senate Bill 1, not what I'm looking for. Still on Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 103, not what I'm looking for. Senate Bill 178 is not what I'm looking for, but Senate Bill 186 is also not what I'm looking for. Boom, Senate Bill 287. So that was the bill I wanted. I clicked around until I found it, and I found it. Now they're on the floor discussing this bill, having conversation about it. You're going to see people debate it. It's going to go back and forth. Here we go. We got people debating. Maybe she says something stupid. You get to hear it. It's funny. You clip it. We can make it funny. We can give it to our content creators and spice it up. Okay, so that was 287. It, long story short, like if I have the what is it called? Gypsy ball, it passes. Okay, great. So it passes. So then it goes, it's moving over now. The next thing is it has to go to the committee in the House. So the first reading, committee in the House, it says 3-3, and then it says it adopted and passed on 3-13. Okay, so now I'm in the House. I need to go to Elections and Apportionment Committee. And they did adopt and pass it on the 13th. Now, here's another thing that I find happens. Let's go back and look at it. Okay, so now I go back to my video. I go back to my recordings. I am now in the House. So I want to look at a House committee. I can just click this thing open. I don't care about all the Senates. I'm on House on the drop down. I'm on House standing. I want Elections and Apportionment. Okay, what was the date again on this? It was 3/13. Okay, so this is fun. This is always fun. Okay, so Elections and Apportionment. This is the committee I want. And now I'm clicking down over for meetings, search meetings, and I'm going to try to find March 13th. Oh, how weird. There is no March 13th. Okay, so there's always these little glitches with these committee hearings, and I've seen this now on multiple states. But the closest to March 13th is March 12th. So I'm just going to click March 12th because I want to know if it's in there. It's real easy to just zip by it. Again, look at these. They have the giant numbers on the top. You know exactly what they're talking about. And you can just skip through it. 10. If I recall, they talk about Senate Bill 10 a whole bunch. 10. I guess 10 is a hot topic right now in this committee. Okay, 199, they switched over. Let's see if I missed anything in here. Nope, they went from 10 to 199. Let's see, 199 in the corner. 526 in the corner now. It's still not what I wanted. Keep going. 287, boom. I found it in committee on the House side in Elections and Apportionment, 287. But again, it was strange, right? Because it had said March 13th on the bill, like on the agenda thing. I don't know why that keeps coming up. So it had said March 13th, the committee report to pass and adopt, but that's not the case. We found it on, where did it go? I'm sorry, I have so many tabs open for Indiana. Okay, here we go. In Elections and Apportionment, I found it in the House committee on the day before, not the 13th, so the 12th, but it's here. So now you can listen to all of them haggle. Again, you get some of your juicier content in the committees. So this might be worth listening to. Maybe somebody said some bonehead thing. It doesn't look like they even have testifiers, which is interesting. Why does your House committees not have testifiers? That's strange to me. It's not really like a formal room or process, but there is some, people down here sitting in what I'm assuming is an exterior room. I don't know. Anyway, I just think this is very, very interesting, right? Okay, great. So I go through and I clip anything that I find that's interesting there. So it passes out of the House committee, pass, adopt, right? Okay, so now it's moving over. You can see in here, like you've got amendment. This one, amendment 3 passes. Amendment 1 fails. Amendment 2 failed. They keep trying to mess with it. Anyway, I don't really want to go through all the amendments. You can if you want. You can go back to those dates and look at the videos. But I'm more concerned with this one right here. Third reading passed. Okay, roll call 335. It passed 5440. All right, that was on March 31st in the House. So this is gonna be your House floor. It went through the House committee. It's now on House floor. 331. Okay, so back to my original page, right? I go back to session. I go back to videos. I go back to recordings. Now I want to find the House. So I click the drop down bar, boom, session. I want House. So for that day, okay, I need March 31st. Boom, there's only one. So there's not like a part 1 or 2 like the other, like in Senate side. So you're in House March 31st. Okay. It is 3 hours long, but again, it's so convenient because it has the stuff on the top again. Even the House one's even bigger and more clear to see, which is so convenient as you're clicking. So 4, 5. Okay, so I went through all of these and I noted the time down. It ended up starting at 2:16. So down here, I look at the bottom, and I just did that because I'm trying to escalate time. Like you guys, I've shown you a couple different videos and how to go through it and where to find it, but I'm gonna click till I find boom 287. Okay, so now I've got 287. These guys are gonna be talking about it.
Offering this bill today? What are you trying to achieve?
So this guy's pissed. Maybe he's a douche.
More transparency to voters when selecting their school board candidates. So
see, this guy sounds cool. I support this political affiliation with school boards. Why would you be against it? Like maybe you clip this back and forth, right? Maybe this back and forth is really interesting, and maybe it helps target this guy next election, or maybe it helps this guy next election, right? So these are all the important things. Again, this is just a bill that I picked. I would highly encourage you to go find bills that you are interested in and find all of these. And once you've completed, all of this stuff, finding where you need it, exactly where your videos are, finding the timetable, then you can go back to the tutorial at the top of the tutorial page, and it will teach you on an iPhone or on a MacBook how to clip and then logo it. And once you clip and logo it, you're going to provide it to a Rhino removal project person. So whether it's Leo or me or Steve Loves Ammo or Anti-Commie or whoever, and we're going to move your clip out. And once you start producing these clips, people in your state of Indiana are going to come to you because they know you're the clip person. You're providing them a window into their state house. So I hope that helps. Your next step now after watching this video is to try it on your own, go through the process, get familiar with your state legislative page, and then go back to the tutorial where I teach you how to clip the video on your laptop or your phone. Your phone, it's actually easier. So go through that and do that process, and then it teaches you how to logo it in CapCut. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.